So the Book of Boba Fett is finally concluded. Now, reactions have been very mixed, but was it good or was it not? Let's try to examine a little bit in this review of the Book of Boba Fett. Fair warning, heavy spoilers ahead. So the Book of Boba Fett has really raised some controversy. Some say it's really good, some say it's really awful. And I think the major problem with the show is the structure it followed. It started out, of course, with flashbacks, which were strange because the flashbacks weren't fitting what was going on in the story. So you're basically getting two stories simultaneously. Now, I do think by themselves, the flashbacks were really good. We got to see how Boba got out of the Sarlacc pit. We got to see him survive with the Tuskens and join their tribe. That was all very interesting. But the fact it was juxtapositioned in with the story of Boba trying to start an empire, it didn't quite ring. It didn't flow properly. It was very disjointed. Now, because of that, I think it hurt the overall presentation. Now, again, it's good by itself, and we didn't understand Boba's motivation very well, because the flashbacks kind of explained it, and yet we did not understand it when we were first watching. But the more obvious point was that Boba had changed. His time in the Sarlacc and his experience with the Tusken Raiders changed him. And we didn't understand why. We were watching what's going on with Boba Fett. Now, I personally really like that Boba Fett grew and changed. But I can see why a lot of people didn't. A lot of people just wanted to see the badass bounty hunter shoot his way through a tough situation. And yeah, that is very appealing, but at the same time, that's not much of a character. And this was trying to be a character-driven story. Did that work? On some levels, yeah, but on many levels, no. Now, what the show did excel on was a ton of nods. We got to see one of our favorite Wookiee mercenaries in live action for the first time. That was a treat. We got to see Boba Fett ride a Rancor. That was awesome. And guess what? Danny Trejo taught Boba Fett how to ride a Rancor. That is something a Star Wars fan never thought they'd ever be able to say. Now, back to the structure, I really think what would have worked better is if maybe we had the flashbacks first, then Boba trying to get on his empire, then the bit with the Mandalorian and the training of Grogu, and then everything wraps up in the final episode. It's a subtle change, but it would have worked a whole lot better, and the episodes with the Mandalorian should have been called an interlude. Which can work quite well. I mean, in the end, everything was connected, but it seemed so disconnected as it was unfolding. And of course, we got our first live-action look at Cad Bane, which was fun. It was a great surprise moment. It was a great overall story, and it kind of tied up the connection between Boba Fett and Cad Bane. It was really, really enjoyable. I really love that. Now, to pass along some more spoilers. A lot of the rumors running around turned out not to be true. There was no Harrison Ford playing Han Solo with a de-aged look just like Mark Hamill did. There was no Emmeline Clark running the Pikes. None of that happened. There was all these rumors flying around, and this is why you shouldn't listen to rumors, because it makes it unexciting. And honestly, after Cad Bane showed up, I was thinking those rumors had to be false, because there's just not enough room for all that. So, in the middle of everything, we get an interlude with The Mandalorian. And it's a good interlude. It's a good, really good episode. It really ties The Mandalorian to Grogu. And it's enjoyable, but it was, again, disjointed. Because we're watching the Book of Boba Fett, and here comes The Mandalorian stealing a whole episode. Now Ahsoka makes a pop in, and it was very interesting because Ahsoka would not join Luke in recreating the Jedi Order, which is a shame, because I think if she had, she would have helped Luke to avoid the pitfalls that led to ultimately Ben Solo becoming Kylo Ren. She probably, more than anyone else, could probably recognize the hubris of the Jedi and how Luke was following down that path. But I digress a little bit, and plus we'll probably see more in the Ahsoka series. So for now, it's just a observation, really. So another big spoiler that is another thing that Star Wars fans never expect to be able to say. Boba Fett kills Cad Bane with a gaffy stick. And a lot of people are saying, oh no, Cad was still alive. You see this like heart monitors thing on him and stuff. And I don't know. I'm sitting here thinking he's 71 years old. He's already, by most estimates, and he's already outlived most of his species. I think this might be all for him. And that's okay. There are other stories he can pop up in later that are taking place before the Book of Boba Fett. I think that ending would be very satisfying, though. So I wouldn't say he's gone forever, but that probably was his death. I don't see him coming back from that. Although it's Star Wars, stranger things have happened. And if you want an example of stranger things that happened, well, there you go at the end credit scene. Comp Vamp is in the bacta tank. He's going to survive, at least from what I'm reading of that. So, we had written him off as dead, so there you go. I mean, people can come back. So, it'll be interesting to see where he ends up and how. But it could be fun too. Now again, another scene that people kind of complained about was when Fennec Shand went and killed all the Pike representatives. And I actually thought that fit really well because, Boba Fett would be too obvious. Fennec Shand could sneak around much better than Boba Fett at this point. And it showed, and she did an awesome job. That was pretty brutal. I was not expecting that in a Star Wars show. So that was fun to see as well. And, truthfully, there's a lot to unpack in this show. We gotta just kind of understand that, the structure may not have been the best, but that doesn't make it a bad show. I have a hard time finding anything really bad about it. As such, I'm going to give it 4 stars. I think with a better structure, I would have given it 4.5. I did enjoy much of the stories. The mods. A lot of people gave them a lot of junk because their bikes were too bright and clean. And I actually started thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, kids with their vehicles, yeah, they're going to clean them up even on Tatooine. So I kind of let that one go. But still, again, I'm going to give it 4 stars. I liked it. I had a lot of enjoyment out of it. I saw some surprises. I'm really glad Grogu picked the chainmail. That was a pleasant surprise. I thought that was going to hang over to the Mandalorian Season 3, but we got it at the end of this story. And again, good story, good show. Just presented in not the best way. So that'll wrap it up for Infinite Realms. Hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And, truthfully, there's a lot to unpack in this show. We gotta just kind of understand that, the structure may not have been the best, but that doesn't make it a bad show. I have a hard time finding anything really bad about it. As such, I'm going to give it 4 stars. I think with a better structure, I would have given it 4.5. I did enjoy much of the stories. The mods. A lot of people gave them a lot of junk because their bikes were too bright and clean. And I actually started thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, kids with their vehicles, yeah, they're going to clean them up even on Tatooine. So I kind of let that one go. But still, again, I'm going to give it 4 stars. I liked it. I had a lot of enjoyment out of it. I saw some surprises. I'm really glad Grogu picked the chainmail. That was a pleasant surprise. I thought that was going to hang over to the Mandalorian Season 3, but we got it at the end of this story. And again, good story, good show. Just presented in not the best way. So that'll wrap it up for Infinite Realms. Hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe.